Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 253 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, aka the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. Get in the pit and try to love someone. Get in the pit and try to love someone. Take it to heart. The B-Man did. That's exactly what I was doing at a concert I went to a couple weeks ago at this point. Went to go see Jimmy Eat World, acronym Jew, with a good friend of mine, a longtime friend, one of my best friends, one of my only friends. Not going to blow up his spot because he's got a family and a career and a life and a mortgage. He's doing things with his life, so I'm not going to associate him with verbal graffiti in this project. But in the real life, we associate together. He said, "Hey, B-Man, I got tickets. You want to go?" And I was like, yeah. Yeah, I haven't listened to Jimmy Eat World in a long time. One of my favorite bands. Although I hardly ever listen to them anymore. But I did listen to their music a lot. Early 2000s. If you don't know, and you probably don't, because Jimmy Eat World is not, I don't think they're pop culture anymore. You have to be of a certain age to be a fan of Jimmy Eat World. And most of the people at this concert at the Hartford Healthcare Amphitheater, I believe it's the name, in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I don't know why a healthcare company is the sponsor of a venue where most people drink and do drugs and listen to music while listening to music, but they are. So thank you, Hartford Healthcare, for being the host that evening while we were there. But it's been a long time. But if you don't know, Jimmy Eat World, it's the 25th anniversary of Bleed American, which might have been their first album, or their first big, that made them pop off. Album came out in 2001. This is year 2026, so that's a 25-year anniversary. That's how that works. Time. Is it real? Is it a construct? I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. I obey the calendar. 12 months, 365 years. Every 4 years a leap year. Every 4 years the Olympics. That's enough about time. 24 hours a day. All right, now that's enough about time. But the album came out in 2001. I loved the album. Did not listen to it, I believe, until 2003. I listened to it on the way to the University of Hawaii. I had a CD player, a Discman, I believe is what they called it. And I was at the University of Hawaii, my first semester of college in Honolulu. And so I didn't know many people there. I'm from Connecticut. I made some friends there in Hawaii. But a lot of times I walked around, because the buses, while I was there, were on strike, so I couldn't really get around the island very much. So I was kind of stuck to the campus and Waikiki Beach, which was less than a mile away. Not a bad locale to be stuck around. So a lot of times when I was walking to the beach or around campus, I would listen to Bleed American, Jimmy Eat World, that album. So whenever I listen to it or hear a song from it, it reminds me of being in Hawaii. Because when I was walking around Hawaii, all alone, freshman year of college, growing into who I am, the B-Man, that was the soundtrack of my walks. It was a happy, young, go-getter, raging morning boners, crazy erections, hot Hawaiians, new culture, beach, surfing, pineapple, the cafeteria at the University of Hawaii, the one near my dorm room, the best grilled cheese I may have ever had in my life. To me, I associate grilled cheese with Hawaii, as I do pineapple as well. But that's just it. So I have a fond, I say all this to just show you that I have a warmth in my black heart for Jimmy Eat World. All right, so my friend who is just randomly asked, "Hey, I got ticket, Jimmy Eat World. It's a Wednesday night. Do you want to go? It's a couple weeks from now." I said, "Yeah, I'll go." Here's the thing, though, the B-Man, I don't really like to do anything. All right? We've spoken about this. I'm kind of a loner, a bit of a workaholic. I'm either stand up, well, you know what, stand up, verbal graffiti, work, a little bit of exercise. I don't really like to go to events, but I haven't been to I'm not being hyperbolic when I say this. I honestly don't remember the last real concert I went to. Look, I've been at venues where there was music being played, like bars, restaurants, but an actual amphitheater, arena, I honestly don't remember the last time I went to a concert. It has to be at least over a decade. So there was a bit of anxiety I had from accepting the invitation to this concert, to the actual date of the concert, because I didn't really know how it was going to go down, if I was going to have a good time or not. Because the last time I went to a concert, I was rambunctious. I was young. I drank a lot more than I do now. I was usually, I was up towards the front, jumping, yelling. I can't remember the lyrics of songs. That's not a skill set I have. My brain does not work that way. All the famous Beatles songs that I probably have heard more than 100 times a piece, I can't sing. Even the chorus, I can't sing. So I'm not somebody who sings this along with the songs. I hum, So how is a B-man going to behave at this concert? I don't know. Let's get into it. So it's a Wednesday afternoon, evening, 6:30, late June, maybe early July. Yeah, late June. So the sun's up until close to 9 p.m. here in Connecticut, in Bridgeport, Connecticut. 6:30, my buddy picks me up because I'm a scavenger. Of course he's going to drive. We were in a car. He's got kids' seats in the back. The kids are not with us, thankfully. He asked me if I want a drink. He's got one of those iced tea, Sunrise. I'm not sure what they're called, but it's iced tea. It tastes exactly like iced tea. It's got alcohol in it. So I have two of those on the way there. Bridgeport's about 40 minutes away, the venue. Maybe, whatever. You don't care about the time distance. So I have two on the way to the venue. And we get to the parking lot. It's about a little after 7. The concert has just started. There's 3 openers. Jimmy Eat World is they go on at 9 p.m. So we got a little bit of time to kill. We're not gonna go in and watch the opening bands as a 40-year-olds. That's something you do as a teenager, early 20s, when you're interested in new music, finding out new artists that you can share with your friends at parties, and hopefully use that info, parlay it into a drunk fuck in your dorm room or your parents' house. But we'd rather spend time together. So there was a bar across the street, a pizza place. Actually, it's around the block. So it's a brewery that has pizza, New Haven pizza, even though we weren't in New Haven. Don't know how they pull off that, but they do. So we went there, had 2 more drinks. I had purchased some gummies, 5 milligrams a piece. I had 2. I think my friend had 1, maybe 2. So by the time we went in maybe 8:30, bought a drink inside. So I think this is my 5th drink total, which is that's my limit. Once I hit 5, the B-man's got a good buzz going, but anything more than 5, I start to get hazy and towards blackout. So I'm about 10 milligrams of gummy. I'm about 5 drinks in. The $20 for a Stella, 16 ounce. Fucking ridiculous. That's my only complaint about this venue is $20 for a drink. That's fucking ridiculous. It's less expensive at Yankee Stadium. So yeah, I pay. He drove, so I bought him a couple drinks. He basically paid for all of it. So it's not like I'm a scavenger. We're in the venue. Most of the audience in their 40s. It's very weird when you're in the 40s and you're of that age now where you're going to a concert and people your age are bringing their teenage or puberty kids to the concert with them. And now, we're on the other side now. We're the old ones. But we really weren't old because Jimmy Eat World, the audience, as me, like semi-drunk, semi-high, doing a survey with my eyes, 20/20 vision, mostly white, and mostly, yeah, 40 to 50 years old. And then, some teenagers probably who are just fans of the band who caught on as they were growing up, but mostly 40s. So I fit right in. And we're in general standing, like the front row. And I got a buzz going, and then the band comes on. And then I got in the pit. I got in the pit and tried to love someone. And before the music really started, my friend was wearing a t-shirt that everybody loved because there's I don't have kids, but there's Mr. Rogers. There's like a female version of that for kids today, like Mrs. Ranger or whatever her name is. So he had a t-shirt that said, Punk and Mrs. Rogers or whatever the new version of Mr. Rogers is for kids. So all the parents were asking to take pictures of my friend because they loved the t-shirt. That shirt slays. If you want a MILF, a real authentic MILF, get the t-shirt that says Punk lover and a Mrs. Rogers lover. Don't remember her name. My apologies. I don't have kids. I don't watch a lot of TV. A lot of streaming services with 4-year-old girls and boys. It's not my demographic. But we're in there. So my friend that I'm with who took me to the concert, he's the star of the show before the show starts. The main band, Jimmy Eat World. So we're taking photos. We're talking to people near us. We're laughing. Hey man, we're in our 40s. We're at a concert, but it's a pretty fun time. And I'll show some pictures right here. And but the show starts, and I just kind of I wasn't planning to do this. Maybe it was the libations, maybe it was the gummy bears that I had taken, but a second song of Bleed American. They played their entire album, Jimmy Eat World, the album Bleed American. Second song, I got into the pit. Now, and I won't say I was the star of the pit, but I was in the pit. I was an active participant of the pit, and it was as though I was 25 again. It's like I had never left the pit. And let me say, no, I'm not. Now, what I'm gonna say, I gotta curb it a little bit because this is Jimmy Eat World, so this is not a hardcore band, and this was not a hardcore pit. But this is the only pit experience I've had in the last decade. And it was a loving pit. There was a lady that fell down, and immediately 2 guys picked her right up, made sure she was okay. And I thought, oh, wow, that's really nice of them. And then a few minutes later, or maybe a song or two later, I fell down because I was jumping. I was trying to bump into people, high-rise people, and I lost my balance. I fell down. And as soon as my butt hit the ground, 2 people were pulling me up, asking me if I was okay. I was okay. And right there, I was like, wow, that would not have happened to me at some of the hardcore shows I used to go to in the early 2000s. And when I went to concerts in high school and early college, we'd go to some emo, screamo bands in New Jersey and Connecticut, like standing room only, like no seating. And basically, I remember going to concerts. I remember a band Finch, was like a screamo band. And our entire high school hockey team went, and most of them were on steroids. They went to the concert just to get in the pit to fuck people up. That was their only objective. That was what they did for fun. And I was with them, so it was kind of fun to see them. Oh, when the hockey team got into the pit, I walked away. As you know, I am not a fighter. This face is beautiful. I do not want it. Even as a younger teenager, more spry guy, I did not want to get disfigured in the face. I did not want blood. There were plenty of concerts I went to where I'd be in the restroom and there'd be a lot of guys with blood and like sprained wrists and ankles and stuff from being in the pit. That was not the experience at Jimmy Eat World. Again, they're kind of a mellow rock band, so the pit was not There was not a lot of high testosterone in the pit. I might have been the highest of testosterone of the Johns inside of this pit. Well, yeah, it was amusing to me that 15, 20 years later, never haven't been to a concert forever. And as soon as the concert starts, I seek out the pit, or maybe the pit seeked me out. But we found each other, and it's as though I had never left. Trying to find love, got in the pit, trying to find some love. What? Get in the pit and love someone? Get in the pit, ba with the ba with the ba, get in the pit and find. I don't know how it goes, but you get the feeling. It was fun, though. It was fun. I think it's, other than hanging out with my friend and having a few drinks and the weather and the music, the pit is what made the event fun. I'm not really sure what everybody else was doing. Hey, everyone else is kind of staring at the stage. Me, though, hold on. I think we might have a visitor. All right. Apologies for that. We have Daisy with us walking around the studio. My sister's dog, Daisy. She's made appearance this year. So maybe we'll have a guest host for this episode. She was not at Jimmy E. World with me. Hey, Daisy, you want to come up? Yeah. Whoop, whoop. All right. We got a host. You want to be a co-host? No? She's probably going to want to jump off. She's not much of a lap dog. You want to get off? Want to get up? All right. Hey, these are the things that happen when your studio's in your mother's house. Dogs just appear and come and go, and is she going to want to go upstairs? Oh, we're just going to continue the episode. If I have to pause it to go let Daisy out, that's what we're going to have to do. But I was at this concert, and I'm in the pit, and I'm having a great time in the pit because I'm being active. It's almost like dancing. When I go to a club, or when I used to go to clubs, I would dance. I was not one of these Johns, wallflowers. If I couldn't find a babe to dance with, I would just dance by myself and purposely try to bump into a babe and try to grind up on her. And if she was acquiesced, we would dance. If not, I'd try to find someone else. And if I wasn't able to find anybody, I would just lather myself into a sweat dancing by myself. Same thing with the pit at Jimmy Eat World a couple weeks ago. It's a different form of dance. It's a different form of expression. I don't like speaking. I like dancing, performing. The B-man, I'm a performer. So if I'm at a concert and that's what I'm here to say. If there's a concert and there's a pit, I'm going to be in there trying to love someone. All right, I think I'm going to have to let Daisy up. Hold on one second. All right, back in the game, back in the pit. Just let Daisy outside. But here's my concern. Now I think I'm capable of being in the pit, but I have to check myself. All right, because I'm 6 feet, 161 pounds, not very athletic. Here's the thing, Jimmy World. Lukewarm rock, lukewarm emo. If I go to a Rammstein concert, if I go to a Korn concert now, because maybe I am a concert person, I had a great time. It was a great evening. But if I go to a more extreme concert, a little bit harder music, and I walk into the pit, I might not find some love. I might find some bruises and blood. That's not what I want to find. Right? I walked out of Jimmy Eat World. No pain in my shoulders or arms or anything. No marks on me. Just good times and memories that will last till I get dementia. I go to Korn. I go to one of these more hardcore bands, and I might end up in a pit where I'm not able to get out of without getting injured. So I got to tread carefully if I decide to go to more concerts or get invited to more concerts. But we'll say, Jimmy Eat World, if they're coming through your town, go see them. The lead singer, don't know his name, although it is one of my favorite bands. Voice still sounds fantastic. Sounds exactly like the album, Bleed American. So to Jimmy Eat World, a tip of my penis. And to my friend, thank you for inviting me. Had a great time. All right, moving forward. This next one comes from, I think this comes from X.com, formerly Twitter. I wish I wasn't straight. Okay. There are beautiful, horny women, me, being forced into celibacy due to the utter lack of worthy men in existence. This is the world we are living in now. Yeah, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Mr. Perfect, my penis, gives you my stamp of approval with your statement. There are lots of horny women out there, and we as Johns are failing them. These babes are horny. They want to get with us guys, but there's no guys to get with because we have failed them as a species, as a gender. I am convinced, and I say this maybe once every 5 episodes here at this Project Verbal Graffiti, that 80% of lesbians are lesbians because there are no fuckable men available for these 80% of self-proclaimed lesbians. Let me find a better way to say it. Let me condense that. 80% of lesbians are lesbians because they can't find a man who's fuckable enough for them. So they go to the sniz, to their fellow lady. And that's on us. That's not their fault. That's our fault. Right? There are so many Johns, so many voices on the internet, personalities, influencers who tell babes that they have to lower their standards. That if they want love, if they want to have a kid, a family, happiness, 2.5 children, all that jazz, all that music, you got to lower your standards. I'm here to tell you, no, you don't. If you're a babe, one of the rare babes that are watching Verbal Graffiti, A, a tip of my penis for being here, and B, do not lower your standards. If anything, higher your standards. Men, Johns, we are failing the babes here in America. Now, yes, most of you babes are overweight and batshit crazy. And really, most of us Johns want nothing to do with you. But there are also a lot of you out there that are pretty damn good looking. Have your shit together. Have careers. Have personalities. Have interest. Can partake in engaging conversations. Maybe even intellectuals. Maybe even actually attractive at a moderate body weight. And even to the fatties, to the marshmallows. Even to the dum-dums. Maybe you're not that smart. If you put the two sexes next to each other, the babes are so much far ahead of where the men at in general that it's almost impossible for babes to lower their standards anymore. Honestly, guys, it's almost guys. We're in the middle of a temper tantrum right now. Like I just said, I was at Jimmy Eat World. Every guy, there were no men at that concert. I think there might have been 3,000 people there. I'm guessing at max, maybe. I'm bad with crowd sizes. And again, it was a concert, so this wasn't, a dress-up event. But every guy there was overweight, noodly arms, not well kept, not groomed, graphic t-shirt, cargo shorts, sneakers that are, like Converse sneakers that who knows how old they are. There's probably some type of algae on the bottom of those sneakers that will cause the next COVID or whatever virus that's gonna off all of us. You look at men today, and it's not a sight you'll want to look at. It makes it. If you had to describe men in the year 2026, that is not a sound. It's just a look. It's just a shake and a look down. It's like, nope, that's not it. We're honestly, we're not even, it's not even that guys aren't fuckable. We're not even capable of being in your presence without bringing your mood down. We all wear graphic t-shirts. Most guys today, men today, they consider dressing up, wearing a pair of khakis that they fall off their hips, and an American Eagle polo shirt that they probably had since college or high school. That's dressing up. I had a friend. I had a good friend of mine. He got married. His wife, fiance, wife for the event, she had a girlfriend who, like a friend of hers who was at the wedding, and she brought a first date to the wedding, and the guy wore khaki pants and a button-down shirt tucked in, and we busted her sniz the entire evening. Like, your date wore khakis to a wedding, and everyone was wearing suits. It was like a normal, formal wedding, and to this day, we bust her sniz. I don't see her very often, but whenever her name comes up, I go, remember that wedding? Her date, the guy who wore khakis, and we all laugh, and we laugh about it to this day. But that's, guys, that's John's in the 2020s. We're failing. We're failing as a gender. We're overweight. No, it's hard to tell babes to lower their standard. Like I feel icky telling a babe to lower her standards. A babe having to tell a guy, how sorry for it? I think a babe having to tell a guy to brush his teeth twice a day is not something a babe should have to do. Like that's a standard. Like a guy should easily meet that standard, but there are so many guys out there who don't brush their teeth twice a day. I mean, that's what the babes today are dealing with. And these are guys who don't know how to do laundry. They don't know how to, they offer no utility to their babes. They don't know how to do anything around the house. You can't get a guy to mow his lawn. You can't get a guy to do the dishes. God forbid a guy learn how to eat you out. Hey, hand up. Eating babes out, eating the sniz, burying my face between your legs, the epicenter of your life. It's one of my favorite things to do. I prefer to eat your sniz than you to be giving me sloppy top. But I don't know what the fuck I'm doing down there. Like that, I mean, and I enjoy doing it. I just move my tongue around a lot, enjoy being down there, enjoy the environment, hang out, move my tongue around. Change up the pace every once in a while. Listen to your body, listen to your emotions, your voice, and if it sounds, if the movements, if I'm getting the sense that you enjoy it, I keep doing it. If not, I change it up. But I have no game plan going down there, and I enjoy doing it. Most guys don't know how to eat sniz. So I can't blame babes for not wanting to deal with all of us. And decide, fuck it. I'll become a lesbo. Like, honestly, if that's what you're offering me, I'll find my own stage and we'll cohabitate together. So I can't blame you. I think I saw a stat recently. Again, I don't know if this is correct. I read it on the internet. I think I saw it on X, so it's got to be true that 50% of 50% of Gen Z guys are not capable of making the military. The Marines, they don't meet the standards the Marines have. So, and to make the Marines, I think there's a certain BMI level. You have to run a mile, have to do, there's just a basic fitness test. So if half of Gen Z is not capable of making the Marines, like, how are you going to be capable of making women happy? I mean, yeah, guys, most guys can't lift their own weight. Bench press, can't do 5 pull-ups, can't run a mile in under 10 minutes, can't touch their toes, aren't flexible, don't know how to eat you out, don't know how to dress, have no sense of style, don't know how to engage in conversation that doesn't involve sports, investing, or what random hobby they have. God forbid you want to talk about literature or the arts or history, right, or philosophy. Guys, we don't know how to talk about anything. I do stand-up comedy. Most of us 85% of comics talk about our dicks. And it's not because we have amazing dicks. Most of us don't. It's just we're not capable, intellectual, well-versed enough to talk about anything else. I would love to talk about the French Revolution on stage and make it funny. I'm not smart enough. I haven't done enough research. What's the stat? 90% of babes are fucking 5% of the guys. Makes sense to me, because when I walk around, 95% of guys are not fuckable. So I've been a lot of time on Instagram, Facebook, and I'm out and about. I was at this concert recently, and you look at some of the guys, the Johns, that are with these babes, and I want to go to these babes. Like, what is wrong with you? That guy, he's barely human. He's a cheese doodle. What are you doing with him? Hey, you babes, you go on the internet, and it seems like most 40-year-old women are miserable. It's our fault. It's the John's fault. We're not raising our level. All we do is bitch all the fucking babes. Their standards are too high. The standards are really not that high. Brush your teeth twice a day. All right. I want to bring back the concert. First, there's something I forgot to mention, because there was an incident. Not an incident. There was it was me and my friend, right? So I'd be in the pit, right? And I'd go back to my friend, because he was on the periphery of the pit at the Jimmy Eat World concert, but he was mostly watching the concert. He was not engaging in the pit. I think he was kind of my chaperone. Right? My friend was kind of watching the pit to make sure like I didn't get knocked the fuck out or get into a fist fight. Like he was kind of my chaperone. B-man, 42 years old. I still need a chaperone when I go to concerts and outdoor events. But that's what he was. He was being a good friend, watching me. So I kind of bounce around from the pit, literally, to hanging out with my friend and watching like a song or two, and then back to the pit. Get my energy, get my breath, get my giddy up. But in between songs, like the lights would come on a little bit, and there was a couple behind us, a guy. Hopefully a guy who was brushing his teeth twice a day. I don't know. I didn't ask. But then there was a lady, a blonde babe. Now, in my state, inebriated state, I was very attracted to her. Now, is she attractive when I'm sober? I don't know. I'll never know. But that night, that evening, in my state of mind, I was attracted to her. I would have loved, to do the business, right? You know what I want to do with her. So I'm there. And I have been at concerts in my younger days where I finger popped and tried to fuck babes at the concert. like on the grass at an amphitheater. I've done that. The B-Man has done that. So that was in my mind. Like I was gravitating. I immediately went right back to the pit where I had been 20 years prior. And then there was a couple behind us. They were about our age. I'd say 40, late 30s, early 40s. And the blonde girl was clearly into me. Like she wanted to fuck the B-Man. I'm not saying I'm a high standard guy, but in that moment, whatever aura I was giving off, like I was having fun. That's what the B-Man. I was in the pit. I was jumping. I was being social with people. I wasn't the center of attention, but it was clearly like, hey man, this guy, he's raging out. That's what the B-Man is doing. And this lady, she liked my energy. And I don't really remember what was said, but there was some small talk between me and my friend and her. And then her husband or her boyfriend or whatever he was, like they were clearly together. And he really wasn't part of the conversation, but we kind of had to make him part of the conversation so it didn't seem like we were trying to like cuck him and take his babe. But that's clearly what I wanted to do. And I'm not usually into blonde babes, but I was into her and she was clearly into me. And after there was a time where I went to my friend and I go, hey, like I know I've had something to drink. I know we had those gummies. She's into me, right? Like this blonde babe right behind us. Is she into me or am I just in an inebriated state? He goes, no, you're both. You're drunk and she's into you. Like she clearly wants to fuck you. And then I go to him and go, oh, okay, just wanted to make sure. And then I asked my friend, I go, well, how do we pull this off? And he goes, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. And I didn't know how to do it either. Like, there was a point. I had my phone, the B-Man. I had my phone. And so like I turn my back to the stage. So I'm looking at the blonde girl and we're talking. I don't remember what was said. Music was being played. It was kind of loud, hard to hear people's voices. So I held my phone up, right, to her with my Instagram. I was hoping that she would take my phone and put her Instagram in it. But as I was doing so, her husband or boy toy was right beside her. So I didn't give her my phone, but I was just kind of holding it up, hoping that she would take the phone, give me her contact, and then maybe I could hit her up after. She did not take the phone, but I held it up for a very long time to the point where the boy toy was kind of looking at me, and I was like, all right, I'm going to turn around and not make any more contact with you because, again, the major theme in my life is I don't want to get punched in the face. I did not get punched in the face, but I also did not leave feeling the insides of that babe and or getting any contact to get in contact with her. So it was just another lost opportunity. Had a good time regardless, though. I would have loved to touch their sniz, though. That would have been fun. That would have been fun to finger pop a girl in the pit at a Jimmy Eat World concert in my 40s. That would have been one for the record books. Not that anyone's taking records of it, but my spank bank. Should have went for it. Damn. Go suck a fat one.